Now let's prepare for our meditation. I invite you to get comfortable in your seat and close your eyes if you wish. Take a deep breath in and release and let go. Another deep breath in, breathing the breath of God, and let go. Allowing yourself to release any busy thoughts, worries, or concerns. Settle into that still space, the very center of our being, and breathe. Imagine for a moment that Spirit is breathing in you. Breathing in and out. Imagine Spirit breathing in and out of your heart. In the great panorama of life spread out before you, allow yourself to feel the nurturing energy of the divine. Divine love surrounding you. Divine love within you. Caring for you. Comforting you, giving you all the courage, the resilience, the focus that you need to live life to the fullest. I invite you to let go of all earthly concerns and surrender in this moment to whatever you are meant to hear from Spirit in the silence. As we gently become aware of our surroundings, we feel gratitude wash over us as we feel the blessings of this day and of this life. We give thanks for the freeing and liberating truth, and for the knowing that we have the power to change our life by changing our consciousness. We go forward with great expectation, realizing the kingdom of heaven right here and right now. And so it is.
let go. Let God. Let go. Let God. I pray to be saturated, secret garden God has created, rooted, weaving, breaking through, believing, traveling within me, unraveling the tapestry. I'm trusting, unwinding, releasing all I'm finding, to live in that honey, to spin in that cell, to swim in that ocean, to draw from that well, to live in that honey, to spin in that cell, to swim in that ocean, to draw from that well. Let go. Let God. Let go. Let God. I want the healing of your grace, quiet strength of your embrace, enfolding, knowing, receiving love and holding it, thinking of the one who gave me thought, moving towards the one who guides my walk. I'm stepping, knowing, seeing, and I'm growing, to live in that honey, to spin in that sound, to swim in that ocean, to draw from that well, to live in that honey, to spin in that sound, to swim in that ocean, to draw from that well. Let go. Oh, let God. Let go. Let God. Let go. Let God. I am a holy city, making a pilgrimage within me, exploring, discovering, opening up and soaring. I am a dervish spinning the spirit string of this beginning, seeing, freeing, remembering, surrendering, to live in that honey, to spin in that that sound, to swim in that ocean, to draw from that well, to live in that honey, to spin in that sound, to swim in that ocean, to draw from that well, let go. Oh, let God, let go.
Wow, thank you so much. That was inspirational. Thank you. Thank you, Pete, wherever you are. So, thank you so much for being here, you guys. It means so much to me to share my spiritual journey with you. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. And I shared with a couple people that I was nervous as I was sleeping last night because I hadn't talked for a while. And then the minute I walked in this room, I felt your love and support and felt totally enfolded in peace and joy and happiness. And that's all of your energy. And I'm so grateful for you. So thank you. So, a church was raising money for hymnals, and the minister on Sunday said, I will give $1,000 to the first person that donates, let me start all over. The first person that donates $1,000 gets to pick 3 hymns. So this little old lady in the middle of row said, count me in, Pastor. She runs up front to the podium. And the minister said, well, thank you so much for your generous donation. We're anxious to hear what 3 hymns you've chosen. She sits there and studies who's in the congregation, and she says, I pick him, and him, and him. So this is a cute little story to illustrate how sometimes our perception can be off, right? Perception is not truth, but it is our truth. And sometimes we believe things that we know in our heart of hearts that are right, and we're so passionate that this is true. But then later we find out that maybe it wasn't. Let's take the example of Santa Claus. We can all relate to that, right? Do you remember when you were a small child how magical Christmas was and how you waited in anticipation for Christmas to come? Sometimes you had a calendar where you crossed off the days. And you looked forward to sitting on Santa's lap. And you left milk and cookies, and sometimes you even left reindeer food for the reindeers. And you just could not wait until Christmas morning. And then what happens? Maybe your big brother or sister tells you that I'm looking to see if there's any children. Okay, maybe your brother or sister tells you that maybe that's not the truth, or maybe a classmate, or maybe your parents, you ask them and they are truthful. And you are just so disenchanted because what you believed was not true, that Santa was not this superhuman person that spread magic. Some of us, when we came into unity, believed that God was superhuman. We believed in a God outside of ourselves. We believed in the Hebrew scripture, Old Testament God of a punishing God, and we feared if we didn't do what God wanted us to do that we would get in trouble. Well, God isn't a superhuman either. So these are two examples of how our thinking can be off, right? Today I would like to talk to you about prayer, specifically denials and affirmations. And I have to say my thinking was off with denials. I only practiced affirmations for the last 18 to 20 years that I've been a truth student. I thought denials were negative, that if I practiced denials, even though I didn't even know what a denial was, it sounded negative to me, that all these negative things, kind of like when I don't know if you've read The Secret or watched The Secret, that all these negative things, you're going to be a magnet if you think or feel a negative thought, and all these negative things are going to be attracted to you. That's what I thought. Well, I have to say that I was mistaken. My perception was off. When I went to a class at Chapel Hill, it was Metaphysics 3. I had the pleasure of talking to Dr. Paul Hasselbeck. He was a former dean of Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute. And I asked him about this because he was teaching us about denials and how to use them in our life. And he said to me that first of all, denials aren't negative, which we'll talk about what they are. But the second part is that when you're thinking negatively, you're not attracting negative things to you. Negative things don't come to you like a magnet. He said when you're seeped in negativity, you go looking for the negative things. Like attracts like, right? How many people do you know that have a circle of friends that are all negative? Right. But the opposite is true as well. That's what I have in you. When I seek good and I seek God, I'm attracted to good and godly things. So that's where you guys come in. You're the good and the God that I'm attracted to. And that's what we do when we practice affirmations. In the book, How to Pray Without Talking to God, Linda Martella Whitsett says, much of what we believe is unintentionally acquired, unknowingly held, and unconsciously enacted. This is especially true of limiting or negative beliefs because they are backed by strong emotion. This ties into what we talked about last week. Why do we worry? Why do we feel insecure? Why are we afraid of failure? Why do we hold on to past hurts and carry resentments? Let's look at an example. If you grew up in a household like mine that was struggling to make ends meet, you may have heard your parents talking about the poor economy or potential layoffs or fear about how they were going to be able to buy school uniforms or pay for food or whatever. You not only heard them talking about that, but you felt their emotions and their fear. And some of that fear grabbed onto you. Have you ever heard the statement, money doesn't grow on trees? Well, for me, I took that literally. When I was a little girl, I thought we were poor. And I rarely asked for anything because I thought we were poor. False belief. My brother, on the other hand, wanted everything. And he asked for it, and he got it most times. And then I'd get mad at him. Crazy, crazy, crazy. We both grew up in the same house, but I took on that limiting belief of lack. So some of us that grew up in a household like that, we today, fast forward 20, 30, 40, 50 years, we still have a feeling of lack. Even though we have plenty of money, we still have a feeling of lack. Our thoughts determine our experiences. And over time, we form habits of those thoughts, and that forms our belief system. Think about some of the beliefs that no longer serve you. I can never get ahead. I'm not good at remembering names. That's mine that I used to say. Oh, you too? Me, that's what I say too, but I'm not going to anymore. My father was an abusive alcoholic. How else could I have turned out? I've always had allergies. After all, I live in the Ohio Valley. I'm too set in my ways to find someone to be in a relationship with. Any of those ring a bell? Circumstances and conditions do not create our experiences. Our choice of thinking determines our experiences. Let me repeat that. Circumstances and conditions do not create our experiences. Our choice of thoughts create our experiences. How we view a particular circumstance or condition determines our experiences. In prayer, we can consciously choose our thoughts by practicing denials and affirmations. Okay, so have you guys heard of the trash can law? Probably not, because I just made it up. Everybody has a trash can in their house, right? And a lot of times it's somebody's job to empty the trash. Thank you, Patrick. I really appreciate that. So what happens when you empty the trash? Fills back up. Sometimes you can pack it down and you can fit more in, but ultimately you're going to have to empty it again. Denials are like emptying the things that no longer serve you in your conscious and unconscious mind. If all your belief systems, those limiting negative thoughts, are filling up your consciousness, there's no room for those affirmations to come in. Sometimes you have to empty it in order to let good and in order to let God come in. So denials are a way to empty those limiting negative beliefs that you have in there, that rubbish that no longer serves you. The superhuman God and the feelings of lack and, fill in the blank. Charles Fillmore wrote in his book Prosperity, "It is just as necessary that one should let go of old thoughts and conditions after they have served their purpose as it is that one should lay hold of new ideas and create new conditions to meet one's requirements. In fact, we cannot lay hold of new ideas and make new conditions until we have made room for them by eliminating the old." When we use spiritual denials, we are not denying the facts and feelings of a situation. We are denying the power of those facts and feelings over us. Charles said, "Make a denial as if you were gently sweeping away cobwebs." In the Handbook of Positive Prayer, Hypatia Hasbrook suggested an all-purpose denial. So this is your easy way to create a denial. "This is powerless to take or keep my good for me." Substitute this for whatever it is you feel like is blocking you from reaching your divine purpose. My Father's words and actions are powerless to keep or take my good from me. Allergies are powerless to take or keep my good from me. My limiting thoughts about relationships are powerless to take or keep my good from me. Denials are a necessary step to empty your conscious and subconscious mind, to allow your light to shine, to allow you to express love, understanding, wisdom, to reach your divine purpose. Having cleansed the temple of the mind of the thieves and robber of our good, as Charles Fillmore said, we are now ready to build on a fresh state of mind and express a positive statement of truth, an affirmation. Jesus, our master teacher, taught, "So I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you will receive it and it will be yours." Mark 11:24. Affirmative prayer involves connecting with spirit, having faith, visualizing, and believing that it's already yours. That's the affirmation part. Hasbrook, in her book, The Handbook of Positive Prayer, gives a little guide. You begin your prayer statement with "I know that" or "I give thanks for." You use the present tense, and whenever possible, insert the word "now." So if you're worried about making ends meet, instead of beseeching God, an old way of how we used to pray, "God, please help me," you could say, "I know that I am connected to infinite, abundant spiritual supply," or "I give thanks for a full and prosperous life." Our words have energy and power. Which one feels better to you? "God, please help me," or "I know that I am connected to infinite, abundant spiritual supply." Don't get me wrong. Sometimes we need that "God, please help me." Sometimes that's all that we can get out. And God knows what we need. The words don't matter. The words are for us to release, to let go, to affirm. Myrtle said, affirmative prayer is not passive. Affirm with strong, bold, positive attitude in mind. Get this. Charles Fillmore, he was our co-founder of Unity. I'm sorry I didn't mention that for those of you that haven't been here before. Charles Fillmore said in his 90s, "I fairly sizzle with zeal, and I spring forth with a mighty faith to do what is mine to do." Woo-hoo! Prayer makes you the master of divine ideas. So are you ready to practice some affirmations? Okay, all right. The universe is conspiring to make all my dreams come true. And if that sounds familiar, that was an affirmation that was mentioned last week with Lavina. Thank you for sharing that with us, Lavina. I give thanks for a full and prosperous life. Boy, was that with power? And let's try that again. I give thanks for a full and prosperous life. Claim it. I give thanks for every one of my relationships. Good. Good. I know that success comes to me like mushrooms overnight. I know, now this is a long one. Let's test your memory. I know that each and every day, in each and every way, my life is getting better and better and better. yourself a hand. And I affirm all of those things for each and every one of you. So now we've created our denials. We've created our affirmations. What do we do with them? Well, I didn't know, so I asked Paul Hasselback, the former dean. What Paul said is to write them down first, which I have some that I have used that have helped me. I wrote them on a little card. And this is when I was experiencing breast cancer last year. Cancer has no dominion over me. I draw my strength and power from an infinite source of love, knowing that every cell in my body is whole and perfect. So I put this in my bathroom. I said it when I said it when I first woke up in the morning, before I got out of bed, and felt it, visualized it. When I was getting ready in the morning for work, I looked in the mirror and I said it again. When I experienced fear or worry or doubt, I said it again. At noon, I said it again. Anytime the iggly thoughts of those negative emotions came up, I said my denial and I said my affirmation. And at night, while I was sleeping, I used my affirmation as a mantra before I went to sleep. And this sounds gross probably to most of you, but I'm an OR nurse, so I know what the insides of people look like. And so I visualized my insides, what that particular part of my body looks like. And I visualized all these beautiful cells just renewing and energizing that particular part of my body. And some of you may not have been here when I spoke, but I did experience a healing. I used these denials and affirmations, and I not only healed my spiritual body and my mental state, but I also experienced a healing of my physical body. When I had surgery, there was no cancer in my breast, even though it had been diagnosed 8 weeks before. So that is where I am right now, and that's why I want to be a minister, because this stuff works. It's not hocus pocus. A lot of us take a lot of grief from people because they think that we're a cult or whatever, but it works. And that's why I'm passionate about sharing what I know with you, because I do know that it works, and I want to pay it forward. I want you to know that it works. I have several other that I've been using. One thing I struggled with was forgiveness, and it's interesting that was our daily word. There's no coincidences in life. Forgiveness. I went to counseling for many, many years. I did the steps in several different 12-step programs, and I still held on to a resentment. And I used this denial and affirmation, and I was able to let go and feel love and compassion, and it stuck. So I took out the person, but my blank words, this person's words and actions have no power over me. I claim my divine abilities of love, understanding, and will to affirm that pure loving spirit flows freely in and through this person. She and I are one in divine essence. So in the morning when you first wake up, denials and affirmations. When you get ready in the morning, denials and affirmations. At noon, denials and affirmations. At bedtime, use your affirmation as your mantra. How long do you do it? For as long as it takes. It's up to you. Okay, so in closing, life is consciousness. Release old, negative, limiting thoughts by practicing denials. Use affirmations to claim your divinity, to claim what you want. By practicing denials and affirmations, you allow your consciousness to believe that all things are possible. You have all the potential. You have all the power. Jesus said, "It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." So claim it. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. If you're not having the experiences that you want, realize that you have the power to change it. You are the commander of your fate. You are the master of your soul. Change your thinking and change your life. Thank you.
You don't have to know the words. It's just la, 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 la. Go for a walk, get some fresh air, try to smile, say something kind to a stranger if one happens by. Always exercise your heart's knowing. Might as well tell 'em something real along this path. Take your spouse or your sweetheart in your arms, way you did when you first met. Way you did when you first met. Way you did when you first met. La 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 la. You can even make up your own la 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 part. May you find yourself speaking new languages, expanding the circle of your tribe. May you find that you smile when you look in the mirror and laugh more when you're waiting in long lines. Look up at the infinite. Feel your place in it. Look up at the infinite. Feel your place in it. Let the stars walk you home and the moon kiss you goodnight. Stars walk you home and the moon kiss you goodnight. Stars walk you home and the moon kiss you goodnight. La 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 la. La 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 la. Live, laugh, love. Embrace the moment that you're in. Reveal the light you're made of. We'll toast every rung that we've climbed on evolution's ladder. And whisper, I love you to the whole mad world. Don't be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. All things break, all things can be mended. Not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go and love intentionally, extravagantly, unconditionally. The darkness of the world waits in darkness for your light. The broken world waits in the darkness for your light. Broken world waits in the darkness for your light. La 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 la. Everybody, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh oh.
Action. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And I see all our prayer chaplains made it down front. If you need any prayer support today, all of these wonderful people are here to support you. And a few stragglers. Here comes Donna. And now let's sing the peace song.